Hey YouTube, it's Robert and I'm here with a video for you with a little bit of a creative solution. If you've got two floors that you're dealing with where the transition is on a curve, then this might be a video for you. Here we've got a newly installed laminate floor, that's the lighter one, up against an engineered glued down hardwood. That wood used to transition to carpet where we were able to just cut the carpet along that curve. But now that we're dealing with two different hard surfaces, one of which is a floating floor, we need a T-molding to install between these two. That's where our flexible rubber T-molding is going to come in handy. I've got a link in the description for this product where you can get it, but this is going to be perfect for us to have a molding that will actually contour along the line of our rounded transition. Now the biggest challenge here is figuring out how we're going to make a rubber transition piece match a real wood floor. So I started by finding a wood that was close to the existing floor in that home, and then using that to go out and source the specific color that I needed to get. Now this product calls for a gel stain to be applied to the product. I first have to sand this piece down to try to create any level of porosity to this rubber, which is not designed to absorb stain. That's why we typically can't use a normal water-based or oil-based stain. We have to use this gel stain. This gel is like a thick pudding, and the manufacturer recommended applying this product with either a sponge brush or a stain pad. I had not worked with a gel stain in as long as I can remember, and especially on rubber, I just kind of started out with the sponge brush, trying to get a feel for it. And I found out pretty quickly that the sponge brush for me was very difficult to use. As I tried to go in a single pass on one side, it was hard for me to get it all the way across the width. And then if I tried to go back at all, you can see where there's just always some of that gel left behind. And as that starts to dry and you're trying to put your multiple layers on, it just left me with a mess by the time that I was done. I had a lot of splotching, a lot of marks, and so I ultimately stripped all of this gel stain off so that I could start over and see if the wiping pad worked any better. And I lost the footage applying the gel stain onto the T-molding using the wiping pad, so I'm just going to give you guys a quick glimpse of what that looks like using this flexible rubber quarter round piece. Same basic process here. We're using these staining pads to apply our gel stain across, and you guys will see that it is still a slow process. We have to build it up slowly, but it's much cleaner and easier to cover up our mistakes than what I'm finding that the sponge brush was for me. I am wearing gloves on this as well because the stain will go right through the wiping pad and transfer onto my hands very easily. So if you want to keep this as clean as possible, definitely use gloves. So with the stain pad, I get a pretty good amount of gel stain on there and just start working it across. Now, what I'm showing you here is that if you make any mistakes and you leave too much excess on there, you can very quickly get that cleaned up with the stain pad. However, it's still kind of a slow process. We have to build this up slowly, and typically you can actually wait a few minutes before you wipe off that excess if you want to go with a heavier coat overall, as opposed to going a little bit slower and really minimizing how much stain you're putting on it at any one time. Now here you'll see that you can in fact get this rubber to get dark over time. It just takes several coats. This was a different stain color that I used and had applied to this. One of the nice things is as you build up those layers, the embossing of the grain that they put into the rubber actually starts to showcase a little bit more and start to mimic a little bit of some wood grain in there as well. And here you can see after another pass with our gel stain, we've already been able to bring a little bit more color into that rubber piece and start to darken it. If you don't want to risk going too dark all at once, then just go slow and apply a little bit at a time. Let it dry so you get a really good idea of what each coat's final color is going to look like. Now, after getting through the trial and error process of applying the gel stain, I finally was able to get the color correct. And now we get to the easier part, which is applying the wipe-on polyurethane. I'm using a warm satin finish because I did want to warm this product up even a little bit more while keeping that satin finish because I don't want too much of a sheen on this product. I have to do this again in very slow, thin layers because it's just going to build up over the surface. It's, again, not penetrating into the actual rubber. But with each coat, it starts to look a little bit better. I sand each time in between coats with this fine steel wool. You could also use a very light grit sandpaper, although the steel wool for me, I felt like really did the trick, and I got a really nice smooth finish when I was done. 6 coats of polyurethane later, we're back on the job site with our T-molding ready to be installed between the wood and the laminate. We start by just cleaning out the subfloor where this is going to sit between the two products. Then we cut it down to size with our vinyl flooring cutter. Once we've carefully measured and cut it, we'll dry fit it into place, remove it, and then put down our heavy-duty construction adhesive before doing our final installation of our flexible rubber T-molding. Now, the only thing that we need to do from here is make sure that it stays solidly in place with some weight on it while the adhesive dries. We don't want to use any type of a tape to hold it down because that could peel off the finish that we worked so hard to get on. So we just place some heavy boxes of our laminate material on top of that molding until it's completely dried. And here's a final look at our rubberized T-molding along our radius curve. I'm really pleased with how it came out overall. As you guys saw, I really struggled learning how to apply that gel stain, but I finally achieved a result that I'm really pleased with, especially considering that we're matching a piece of rubber to an engineered wood floor. If you guys found this video helpful or even mildly entertaining, please do me a favor and hit that like button. Comment down below with any questions you guys might have, and I will see you in the next one.